Say it ain't so, Jet fans. There's sources out there saying that Robbie Anderson is highly unlikely to sign with the New York Jets. So what are our options?
J-E-T-S, Jets!
Welcome to Jets Talk. My name is Ryan. I'll be your pilot today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Guys, Mondays, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I do my live call-in show. So if you want to talk more about Robbie Anderson and potential replacements, reach out to me there. That's a good forum for us. As well as our Tuesday Talking Jets panel, we're going to be discussing Robbie Anderson and the wide receiver options that we have available to us. So make sure you tune into that Tuesdays at 9 o'clock. All right, Jet fans. For a team that has a ton of holes already, it appears that we're going to have another one. Robbie Anderson is apparently highly unlikely to sign with the New York Jets. And look, I'll be honest, I kind of expected this, predicted it for a while now. I've wanted to bring Robbie back. I've always said, 4 years, $12 million a year, or 5 years, $12 million a year, whatever it is. Pay him a little bit more. I'm okay with it. I think from what I've been hearing, the Jets want to pay him around $10 million a year. Robbie Anderson apparently wants $13 to $15 million a year. I can't blame the Jets for not wanting to ink Robbie Anderson. I mean, you look at our roster, we're littered with holes across the offensive line. I mean, wide receiver is already kind of a mess to begin with because we're losing Quincy and Nono most likely. So we're going to be without Robbie Anderson and Quincy for next year. How are you supposed to keep continuity with Sam? It's going to be very frustrating. And Robbie hasn't had the ability to really take advantage of his full skill set while he's been with the Jets. And that's going to be the most bittersweet part for me is the stats aren't there. So I get not wanting to pay him. But if you build an offensive line and you can actually give Sam the time to let a route develop down the field and bomb the ball to him, that's where Robbie's going to pay dividends. And I think you'll see him go to a team that has that type of option, and he's going to explode. He's going to do well. Now, obviously, I hope that doesn't happen because I don't want to see this totally blow up in the Jets' face. But I do think Robbie Anderson is a very good wide receiver, very good deep threat, and he's not without his knocks. Low catch percentage, very thin frame at 6'3", 190 pounds, 195 pounds. Very, very thin. Always going to be tough for him to struggle or tough for him to pull a ball away from a defender. It's never going to be very easy at that size. And he has done it in the past. I mean, the catch against Pittsburgh with the two receivers or two defensive backs draped all over him, that was a really good catch. But I don't foresee this being a good option for the Jets. And you have to devote so many resources to that offensive line just to make it worth it to have Robbie that I don't think it makes sense financially for us. And financially for Robbie, he's been in the league for 4 years. He was an undrafted free agent, and he has made about $4 million over the course of his career. He's going to be 27 years old, so you obviously want to capitalize on the contract right now if you're Robbie Anderson. You don't want to take a hometown discount. You don't want to, roll the dice on a 1-year deal because you have played well enough to justify yourself getting a good contract. So I think he'll go to either the Dolphins, the Eagles, maybe the Panthers to follow Matt Rule. A few different areas over there. But who can the Jets really look forward to for next offseason? And one thing for me, the reason I wanted to keep Robbie, aside from his skill set, is the continuity with Sam. Look at the receivers around the league and how long it takes to really learn a offensive system. I think Robbie Anderson was going to play really well in Gase's system next year. I think having an entire year in that system with upgraded offensive line pieces, I think could have played really well. But now what do we do with Sam? Well, we have Demaryius Thomas, who's up for a contract. We traded for him. Now you could bring him back on the cheap. I think that's reasonable. I don't know what that would cost. The other option, if you want to keep continuity with at least the system, maybe not so much Sam, is Emmanuel Sanders. You look over at the 49ers, what they're doing over there. Emmanuel Sanders, the Jets tried to get him last year. They didn't want to offer up the amount of trade compensation that the 49ers did, so we did not try to move in on that. But I think Sanders would be a really good, overall better player than Robbie Anderson. Yes, the long-term age factor and the speed over the top isn't quite the same, but that's an area that I think I would look to improve our wide receiver core that may not cost you a crazy ton of money. The other player you could look at, I think, is Brashad Perriman. And now this isn't a continuity thing. This is a purely replacement level Robbie Anderson type talent thing. You look at him. He's 1 inch shorter than Robbie Anderson. He's 25 pounds more, so he should be more muscular and stronger right off the bat. He's a whole tenth of a second faster in the 40-yard dash. Robbie Anderson ran a 4.3. Brashad Perriman ran a 4.2. So you're getting a faster, stronger wide receiver. graded out better on Pro Football Focus. He has not really performed well throughout the course of his career. He was drafted by the Ravens. I went into him a little bit more in my wide receiver video. So if you guys want to check out all the wide receiver options, I'll link that up above. But Brashad Perriman is someone that I think the Jets could roll the dice on a relatively cheap one-year deal, or a moderate one-year deal, I think, without having to overly commit to someone like a Robbie Anderson. I think we still try to target a wide receiver in the draft, whether that be the first round with CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, or a second round pick with maybe like a Justin Jefferson, or later in the draft, maybe an Antonio Gandy Golden, or Golden Gandy, however you AGG from Liberty. He's really good. He's a freak of an athlete. That could be a potential possibility for the Jets. I'm not going to lose a ton of sleep over losing Robbie Anderson. I really like him. I do wish him the best. Hopefully the Jets can work out some kind of compensation pick with the whole formula, but because we have so much money, I don't know if it's realistic, because when you have a compensation pick, the formula, if you bring in free agents and you lose free agents, it sort of wipes itself out, so you may not get one. Hopefully the Jets can get one. We'll see. Guys, we're going to be talking more about this on the live stream on Monday, as well as the Talkin' Jets panel, so if you want to get all our opinions with O'Leary, Greenbean, and David, make sure you tune into that. Guys, let me know what you think of everything down below in the comments. And as always, go Jets.